Welcome back to A Lot of Life. We're Michael and Amy, and together we're getting everything planted out into the garden this year. Things are finally starting to come alive properly now. The beds are filling up, plants are going into the ground, and we're fully in that stage of the year where everything starts moving relatively quickly. And honestly, this has become one of our favourite things to do together. Not because we're master gardeners, if anything it's the opposite, but because, trust me, we're definitely learning as we go. But because working together out here genuinely brings us closer. There's something really simple and real about it. One of us digging, the other planting, one of us painting, the other one moving pots, watering things and figuring things out together. It's pretty cool. And I think modern life can make it very easy to stop doing things together properly. You can end up just passing each other through the day. Work, phones, stress, responsibilities. Everything becomes busy all of the time. But when you come outside and start building something together, even something as simple as, growing food, you reconnect a bit. And the funny thing is, none of this requires loads of space. We've got a very, I'd say, average UK garden. If anything, it is quite small. We've got a small front garden and a small back garden. Nothing special whatsoever. But it's honestly amazing what you can grow in such a small space if you just start. A few raised beds, some pots, a couple of containers, and suddenly you're growing strawberries, potatoes, herbs, salads, carrots, plants, flowers, cut flowers, you name it, all sorts of things. And there's something incredibly satisfying about eating food you grew yourself, even if it's just one strawberry. It feels different, it tastes different. I also think gardening slows your brain down a bit. You cannot rush nature. You cannot shout at a plant because it's growing too slowly. Everything happens in its own time. And maybe that's why being out here feels so calming. Especially nowadays, when most of life feels so fast, loud, and constantly connected. Screens everywhere, notifications constantly going off, always something demanding your attention. But out here, things feel quieter, more real. And I know this might sound strange to some people, but there genuinely is something grounding about getting your hands in the soil, actually touching the earth, getting dirty, feeling connected to what you're doing. I think we've become quite disconnected from nature as people. Many of us spend most of our lives indoors now. Artificial lights, artificial sounds, concrete everywhere. But the second your hands go into the soil, you feel quite present again. You slow down, you breathe differently. And I think that's one of the reasons gardening has become so important to us. It's not just about growing food, it's about creating moments together. Some evenings we only come out here for 20 minutes after work or the kids have gone to bed. Sometimes we're tired, sometimes the weeds are winning, sometimes plants fail completely. But even then, it still feels worth it, because these little moments become memories. Making a cup of tea, walking around the garden together, sitting on the chairs together, checking what's growing, spotting the first signs of fruit appearing or germination of the seeds, planning what we want to grow next. It's simple, but it feels really meaningful. And honestly, if you're watching this thinking you'd love to grow your own food, but you don't have enough space, you genuinely do not need loads of space. Start with one pot, one tomato plant, a few herbs, and that's it. See where the rest of this journey takes you. You don't need to become fully self-sufficient. You just need to start somewhere. And once you do start, you realise this whole thing isn't really about perfection. It's about connection to nature, to slower living, and to each other. So wherever you are and whatever space you have, maybe this is your sign to grow something. Get outside, touch the soil, slow down for a bit. You might be surprised how much good it does for you. You know, something else we've noticed through all of this is how quickly gardening humbles you. I mean, you spend hours planting something, watering it, growing it, all from seed, protecting it, doing everything right. And then suddenly the weather changes, slugs get there and take it out. A bird flies down and pecks the bush and, takes it out from the roots. And at first that's frustrating. But after a while, you start accepting that nature was never meant to be controlled completely. I actually think there's something healthy about that, because most of modern life is built around convenience and control. Everything is instant food, instant entertainment, instant answers. But growing food teaches patience, real patience, the kind where you plant something today and you might not see the reward for weeks or months. And somehow that makes the reward feel more meaningful. I don't think we're supposed to have everything instantly all of the time. There's something special about earning the result slowly. And honestly, some of the best moments out here aren't even the harvests. They're the quiet little in-between moments where you do take a pause and just look. Early mornings with a cup of tea in the garden, hearing the birds before the rest of the world wakes up, the sun just hitting the flowers and the green leaves, or evenings when the light starts dropping and everything feels calm for a little while. Those moments reset you. I think many people are carrying stress constantly now without even realising it. Always switching on, always thinking, always consuming information. And being outside interrupts that cycle. You stop thinking quite so much, you start noticing things again. The smell of the soil is quite unique. The sound of the wind moving through the plants, bees moving between flowers, the warmth of the snow for the 5 minutes we actually get in here in the UK. It sounds simple, but simple things are often the things we need the most. And another thing this journey has taught us is appreciation. Because when you grow even a tiny amount of your food, you suddenly realise how much work actually goes into it. You stop wasting things as much. You appreciate meals differently. You value the process behind food.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is important, especially for children. Seeing where food actually comes from, not just from supermarket shelves, but from soil, time, care, and patience. There is something incredibly grounding about that. And the truth is, we're still very early in this journey ourselves. We're learning constantly, making, the occasional mistake, trying new things all the time. But maybe that's the whole point. You don't need to be an expert to start living more intentionally. You don't need to be the perfect gardener. You don't need expensive equipment. You just need to be in the moment and enjoy yourself. Take the little things in, take these moments, and find your peace. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one, as always.